Hello, guys. Welcome to the podcast. Unlike previous ones where we have a topic to talk about, today is going to be different in a way. What's going to happen is that we are going to have different tech sections of field, and then we give our takes or our opinions and decisions on what. So welcome, and then let's dive into it. Yeah, man. So the first problem that we have is with regards to OS. So we have Mac versus Windows. What do you think? Which are you going with?
Yeah, Danzzy, I literally heard we are going to be going over these prompts today, and I literally got so excited. So, Mac versus Windows, that's a hugely controversial one. And honestly, I've used both of them. Kind of like, I'm just going off just cosmetics here. I like the look of the Mac better. I mean, we could debate all day, but I don't think there's a better computer that runs Windows that looks better than a Mac. Like, cosmetic wise, Macs just kind of look good, right? Assume you walk into a business meeting with your MacBook in hand. It's like that pure businessman vibe. So I'm a tech guy. I do a lot of tech focused work, but I have workflows that run pretty great on both Mac and Windows. So just going off of work wise, I'd say both of them pretty do well for my work. I run a lot of AI agents and sub agents, and a lot of that is done within terminal. And you could easily do that on your Windows machine or on your Mac machine. Those Mac now has get bash through WSL and tools like that. You could pretty much do a lot of your Linux work on a Windows computer. So that kind of gap has been narrowed down a little more. So we are getting to a point where it's not really what system are you using. It's just a matter of, hey, like what computers do you like better? But on the Windows side of things, most Windows PCs give you more hardware control, so you could upgrade components, increase your RAM, memory, all of that, fun stuff, which you can't really do in a Mac. But that's without saying, Mac has better backwards compatibility because Windows has, especially with Windows 10 to Windows 11 transition, they kind of forced a lot of people because Windows 11 requires on you having a TPM on your computer, and most PCs before didn't really have that. So if you had one of those unfortunate computers that really didn't come with a TPM, it means you had to drop it off since they literally dropped support for Windows 10 back in sometime December last year. As a someone who's double dipped both, I ended up thinking to go with my Mac. Let's hear from you. What's your take, Windows or Mac?
I'm kind of disadvantaged because I haven't used MacBook before or the Mac OS before, but I know Mac OS is slightly similar to how Linux does their stuff. So I can speak from that angle. Now, if we are going to pick between Windows and Mac or Linux, I would usually go with Mac or Linux, and that's just because of the way the terminal works, right? It's easier manipulating stuff with the terminal. But here also lies the case where I do other stuff like video editing and things. And Linux hasn't gotten to that point where it's good. Yeah, Mac has its video editors and stuff. So it's either I'm using Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, and it works fine on Windows. So you usually see me on Windows when I'm trying to do that stuff.
Oh, and I think another angle we both kind of missed out on is but recently the government of France stopped using Windows for their computers in the
Yeah.
security department. And one, it's not even about the money because apparently they paid Windows about 16 million each year, but they have more money than that, so it's not a problem. But their main concern was with security because with Windows, it's a wrapper where you don't really know what happens in the layer below it. But with using some sort of Linux distro, you have more granular control over it. So you can turn off whatever features you want on or off. I think the
Mhm.
main driver of them choosing to opt out of using Windows was that after Windows had Snapshot, which a lot of people didn't really like, and I mean you'd understand why, especially when you're talking about federal companies or federal agencies that have a lot of private data. Maybe it's not directly saving those or sending those images it took from your screenshot, but it's going to be sending some metadata. And metadata could literally point you to what kind of work people are doing or how frequent they're doing some sort of work. So it's a lot of privacy concerns with Windows, especially when Snapshot came out. What do we have here? Light mode versus dark mode. I'm going to come clean. I use light mode a lot, but I am not an NPC. So I get bored sometimes when I'm working because I have a lot of my tools, and so you know how most people have their settings like set up where it's all controlled from your appearance setting in settings. So if you turn on dark mode, all your apps go dark mode. If you turn on light mode, all your apps go light mode. I kind of have a mix of both where I like my VS Code being dark mode, so I have that always set to being dark mode, but I like my browser in light mode because like when I'm working during the day. I typically like having my room all dark, so it's like I could lock in. And then having it all dark and it's like black on black, I just get bored and I get sleepy sometimes. So just having the little white borders on your browser kind of keeps my eyes sharp and open. So I'm like, hey, we're locked in. It's white here, and then I turn here, it's like all dark. It's kind of like that little hacker team for VS Code. And then the best part is for a terminal and VS Code as well. I have this theme where it puts all my text green on a black background. So it's like, got my hoodie on, I'm locked in. You never know what we're doing.
Most, in fact, just like what you said, in my settings is dark mode, so most of my apps go with that in whatever I used to do. The only time I work with light mode is if I'm using Microsoft Word for a very long time, and the dark mode puts me off. So I go to switch it to light mode for just Microsoft Word, and then I'm good to go. But funny enough, at work, most of my stuff are light mode.
It's funny that you mentioned though, because a lot of people that I know who swear by their lives that if you're not in dark mode, you're an NPC. They somehow like their word set to being in light mode. Because I kind of get it though, because when you're working on a document that you're going to send to someone else, you want to make sure it looks great. It's just the one weird little thing that I find about all dark mode religion people. We're going to do it in dark mode, but word's going to be light mode.
Don't worry, it's not a cult.
I don't know. It feels like a cult because majority of y'all dark moders have your hoodies up, probably some glasses on as well. So I'm kind of wondering where your glasses are, but hoodies on in some sort of dark room. You never know what system they're getting into. Is it NASA? Is it what is it? What is it? What are y'all working on that needs you to be so locked in and all dark? All right. And what do we have next?
Yeah, so the next prompt is about text editors. I recall last week we had a banter about this, where we Vim versus Nano versus Emacs. From my side, I've used all three. I've used Emacs, I've used Nano, I've used Vim. When I was starting, I used Vim and Emacs comparatively. But now I'm fully a Nano person. I mean, the way Nano makes it easier for me to interact with my text data and even saving and exiting the editor. It's nice to me. I mean, you just press Control X. You don't save, you press Y. You don't save, you press N. Well, but with Vim and others, there are a lot of keys you need to press. What's your opinion?
I I don't think those are pretty hard to work with, honestly. I am shamelessly gonna say I have not used a ton of Nano. I have never used Emacs, but what I have used is a lot of Vim. And I swear by the Vim Bible, Vim is the best terminal editor. I'll tell you how I got baptized into it, and I shamelessly did not try to use the other one. So one of my mentors when I first started working was a Vim addict. He kind of got me started using Vim. So I just kind of, went by his trail, started using Vim, and then I saw someone else using Nano. I'm like, damn, like you look like a tryhard, bro. What are you doing? Have you heard about Vim? It's like, yeah, bro, I use Vim, but Nano's a little better. It's a little simpler. For me, it's always just been how I'm pretty sure Nano's similar, honestly, because I really don't want to hate. I was gonna hate for the fun of it, but being real, I think both of these pretty much do a similar job. Because I know for Vim, for a lot of stuff that I do, you just Shift E to edit, and then when you're done, just escape it and then save it. So it's pretty much similar as in some few keyboard commands. So not really a ton with basic usage as in, editing stuff, saving stuff, appending stuff, all of that. What I'm interested in learning more about would be NeoVim though. I have heard a lot about it. Apparently that's the one real engineers use. So I guess I'm a NPC when we talk about that. If you're a Vim guy, let me know so we can form out a little Vim call and then, call all these Nano guys NPCs as well for no reason, because why not? Okay, what do we have? When was the last time you restarted your computer? So if you're watching this currently, I want you to do something pretty simple for me. Control, Shift, Escape, and then go to, is it performance? Go see how long your computer's been on. if you're over 5 days, probably need to do a restart now. For me personally, I do a lot of work where I'm always scared of like restarting because I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose all the work that I did, even though with Chrome you could always open and restore all your tabs. But for some reason, I just hate restarting it. So a lot of times I just keep working and working till my computer says I can't literally do no more. Cause like before we were even recorded today, I have some issues because my computer's been on for about 8 days now. So I'm super guilty of that. So if you're gonna ask me personally, there's definitely gonna be somewhere between B and C because it's been over a week, but it's not a week. So probably a week and 2 days ish. So how about you, Danzy?
Just yesterday, I had to restart my PC. So there is a bug in the Windows OS version that I'm using, where if you use it for some time, the icons that you have on the taskbar, the icons disappear. So yeah, I had to restart it yesterday.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that bug because I feel like I've seen it sometime where when I'm working on my PC for a while and I haven't restarted it, a lot of the icons start being a little finicky. But I think Windows has gotten worse because they just keep having these weird little bugs. It kind of lines up with them saying, hey, we're using a lot of AI to, create our code. Isn't it funny how everything starts lining up after they say, hey, we're using more AI and then we have a more crappier version of Windows 11? But little pivot, I digress.
I mean, I thought it was just you going through that once you've confirmed it, then it's like
Yeah.
it's a general icon. Yeah.
Again, just that's another reason why you should consider moving to Mac and not Windows.
Since your campaign is not going to work.
And for the record, I am not paid by Apple. I'm just a Mac enthusiast who wants to see a positive change in the whole world. So, which is why and you should all consider switching to a beautiful MacBook. So yeah, I think that'll be it. It's a Sunday. It's been enough cooking that I've done to Danzy. So I'm gonna leave it here. I know it's always more spicy conversations, spicy topics we could always cover. So feel free to reach out to Danzy. Let him know if you have any other spicy TikToks you want us to cover in future recordings. And also, we plan on having a live session at some point so we can get to hear from you, our community, and be part of these conversations to have more TikToks going forward. That'll be it for today, and peace out.